Allah, Allah. Hello.
Hello, we're live already, man. It's actually going to start without you.
And a happy new year.
Hiking the absolute mic. It says
Took me long.
8:30.
It's
Oh,
8:31.
yeah,
Where's the
it's
music?
It's
No,
8:31.
wait there.
Where's the
yeah,
music?
I was waiting for the host to let me in.
Oh, wait, there's no music. Oh, wait.
No.
Oh, no. That's music. Can you hear it now? Sorry. Actually, I'm wondering if you can hear it on. Actually, I'm probably going to hear it from my side, just can't hear it from you. But no, here you go.
Come on.
What
Messed up the track, man.
Oh man, I know it's the end of the year, but come on now, Alstallio, don't flap us now with the tune.
What's going on, man?
Get
What's
me.
going on? Welcome,
Yeah,
guys. This is a Christmas special, between the years special, that kind of place where you sit and you don't know what's going on.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the last one for 2020, any?
Yeah. It's got. Oh, wait, I gotta share the to our thingy. Because someone set us up, I forgot to share a link. Yeah.
Some stalker.
Yeah. Wait, let me share. Let me share.
Our number one
I'll
fan.
share this link, man. Let me share this link.
Our number
Yeah.
one fan.
Anyways, how's everything going, guys? Do you have a good Christmas? You know, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Really good, yeah.
It is. Does everybody remember?
Fantastic. You said the way you say, yeah, yeah. It was a wonderful Christmas for me. Might I say, for the first time in 100 years, I didn't have to cook Christmas dinner. Thanks to
In
my
100
wonderful
years.
travesty and my wonderful pudding.
What did Pudding cook? She had seconds.
To my lamb and my chicken.
And guess what?
Say that
Travesty.
again.
My
I
lamb
can't
and my
hear ya.
chicken.
The lamb and your chicken.
Yeah, my chicken.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and guess what, Travesty?
What?
I had the rest of yours for my breakfast, and it was wonderful. I just put it in the oven for 10 minutes and I had it for breakfast. I didn't care.
Yeah, that's what I did the next day. Everything was nice and crusty.
Mhm.
Crusty.
Yeah, wonderful. Really appreciated it.
For you guys, man. All right.
So how was yours, Alstallio,
So,
before we get into serious topics?
I was alright. It was good. You know, we made what did we make for dinner?
Beans on toast?
Salmon. Salmon with a creamy dill sauce with tortellini. It was actually really good. That's what we had for
Oh,
Christmas
that
dinner.
sounds nice.
And for that was actually on the 24th. On the 25th, we was at the in-laws. We ended up with some dried. I don't know what that was. Mashed potatoes with some great. I don't know what it was, man. But some dry fake meat. I don't know, man. It didn't really taste that good. But I was high anyway, man. I took a brownie. I was gone.
Oh, my God.
You know, yeah, that's the only way you're going to get through a Christmas dinner with the in-laws. I had to take a brownie, man. I took a cookie.
You ever get high or drunk?
You know what? You know what I realized? You know, you're having like an epiphany while you're high. You know, you're like, I realized these guys are actually really funny, man. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, these guys are funny. Yo, I was good. I couldn't believe it. And then, you know, and the whole time I was thinking to myself, I wonder if they notice that something's wrong with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do. You get paranoid thinking, oh, I wonder if you can see my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I
close.
was stitches. You know.
I don't think you should be advocating this live on air.
What do you
Definitely
mean?
not.
It's not a good
cookie.
example.
It was a cookie laced with the green stuff.
Oh dear me. So he carries on.
The green stuff meaning oregano, guys.
Yeah, oregano.
Yeah, oregano.
That's it.
Oregano-based
And
texture.
basil and rosemary.
Yeah, the green
Yeah.
stuff.
Jokers.
Anyway, did anyone think of two things I really like about Christmas and New Year before we move on to this one topic that we're going to discuss today?
Oh, can I start?
Go on.
Christmas, I think, well, I know I like the fact of being family orientated and seeing how excited the kids are. So that's one thing I like about Christmas. New Year's, which I really, really
Can't
do
go
get
there
excited
yet.
about.
You can't get there. You gotta stay with Christmas pudding.
Oh, can't I do it too?
It's
Can't I just say
season
what I
time,
said?
though.
Is there
This
two
is the
things to do with Christmas?
Well, no, I said, well, it could be New Year's too. I guess it's the
We
season.
haven't got there yet, though.
But it's the season, isn't it? It's like
No,
the
can
12
I-
days of
Yeah.
Christmas.
Hold on, wait. This is my little platform to talk.
Yeah, because you won't speak again until after New Year.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Voila.
let me
Found
talk
it.
about New Year. I didn't just need to be too structured, but I always say I like the fact that I'm given another chance to just have so many months ahead, just to plan and see what this New Year is going to bring. So that's what. Just the thought of it just gets me excited.
But you
Go
know
on,
what?
get excited.
Saying
Boris
that,
is going to
Pudding,
crush your
no,
dreams.
I'm not looking
But
at that.
people, really, shouldn't you class a New Year as the day of your birthday? Because that's
I
a New
thought
Year,
that as
really.
well,
I agree
yeah.
with that.
Better than a New Year on
Oh,
the
yeah,
first.
that's
Your
true.
birthday is a New Year because
Stop
you've
it,
actually made
Travesty.
it to that
Travesty,
year.
stop begging.
So you're going to
Stop
make it beyond
begging.
that.
Stop
year.
begging.
Well,
You're trying to steal from
who's
all those
begging?
who really are born a New Year. Stop
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to steal. Stop
Who's
it.
your begging? You
Leave us
beg.
with our little
Capital
glory.
B.
Okay, Mideyah has
Yeah,
the
but it's
birthday
still
New
the
Year's
day
Day,
you're
so she's
celebrating
lucky.
it. Yeah.
So you're like the only person who actually has an official New Year's birthday. Everybody else doesn't, But Travis is correct. We do. Our New Year starts on our birthday, and that's
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the New Year, really. Not
Yeah,
the first one.
technically,
Somebody
you're
else's
right, yeah.
birthday. Somebody else's beggy birthday.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
The two things I enjoy I know I'm going to enjoy for the foreseeable, is not having to cook Christmas dinner anymore, knowing that I've got some wonderful cooks in my family. They cook really wonderful, so I shall look forward to doing the rounds every year from now on. That is the one wonderful thing. The other wonderful thing, since we've got to talk about New Year, is knowing that I'm blessed with another year. Simple as.
Blessed. That is a blessing or a curse on this planet.
Oh no.
It's a curse, man. Actually, I actually really come to the conclusion that living on this planet is a curse. It's a curse.
It is.
You made a
I
mistake
agree.
somewhere. You made it to hell. We all made it to hell. And what's happened is there's a couple of creeps who knows we're in hell and made it paradise for themselves. And the rest of us are here. Punishment.
Obviously, Alstallio. So, my theory, in my opinion, and notice I say it's only my theory and my opinion, is that you've got to do the best you can and get to the other end, so you can rest in peace at the end. Because otherwise, you will come back to this hell again.
Yeah,
I don't think there's going to be a hell as in the way the religious people do it. No, I don't agree with that. I believe there's one thing: a hell and a heaven and a hell. And we are living hell right now. Because think about it. Why would you be on hell to go to hell?
Yeah. You couldn't
So
get worse
it
than
makes
this.
no logical sense.
Well,
So
apart from
we
the
are
burning
on
lakes
hell
fire.
now. Yeah.
No.
We are burning. It doesn't matter how you look at it. We're burning. We are burning because the burning is symbolic of the suffering
Yeah, the pain
that a lot of us have to go through. I mean, the ones who have been promoted in hell are the ones who are running the world. Simple as. But the good people who will probably weren't good in their last life and have to come back and redo it, that obviously they are going to suffer. It's their punishment. But you've got to try and get through this time without falling off the wagon, so to speak. So you do get the rest in place and the peace at the end. I really do believe that.
This is purgatory, isn't it? This is where we need to repent and make our life better, and then maybe.
Oh no, I understand that, but is that why everybody who gets to a certain age group turns to religion? Because they're thinking it's time to repent.
It's not going to work for them, although. Because
technically,
if you've been a serial killer all your life, you really think because you've reached old age, you think that you suddenly turn good, that you're not going to get no punishment. You're still going to get your punishment for what you've done wrong. There's no escaping it.
But, Mideyah, don't you think the punishment alone would be your memories? Remembering what you've done.
That's punishment enough. You have to live
and the guilt, if you've got any.
Yeah. And
you don't really know if those souls that you've taken don't haunt you.
Exactly.
For your lifetime.
So there's your punishment. There's your punishment.
But you know what? That can't be true because many people kill loads of people and they still live to a ripe old age.
Yeah, but they still... No. As you said, you don't know what they're suffering. Remember, you can't see what's going on in their mind. They
Yeah,
might
true.
appear that they're okay, and they're actually not. You'd be very
True.
surprised. I mean, I can talk a little now because I've noticed that this is what I've seen through my life. Those people who I've seen who thought they could do their wickedness and their badness when they were youth. Remember, I was a youth once, so I've seen the people who've done it. I've lived to see the punishment these people have got in their older age. And I want you to also put into your mind this. You know, we haven't heard it for a long time because obviously with this COVID going on, you don't hear it so much. But when you hear on the news, for instance, oh, this 85-year-old person got beat up in their home back, and everybody's going, oh, poor thing. You sit down, and next time you see that on TV or in the newspaper, say to yourself, even if you feel sorry for them, what did they do when they were young and thought they were okay to get such a horrible thing happen to them? I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of them, you can guarantee if when they were young, they were nasty pieces of work. And you know, another thing as well, what shows you, it's these little things you add up. You see, when they're in the old people's home, especially a lot of these people who are very racist, why is it they end up having to be looked after by the very people they hated? Think about it. Don't you think that's a punishment for them?
That's the same as if you hate somebody, one of your kids going to marry that person.
Yeah, that's why it all comes round. It doesn't have to be the hell and damnation that people have put in your mind. It doesn't have to be that kind of punishment. It could be those things that I've just been talking about. That's your form of punishment.
Yeah.
You know.
So you got to get your test in it. Either way, you got to face your test.
Yeah.
So did everyone answer Alstallio what he said about Christmas and New Year?
Yes, we did. There's only him.
Did we?
Travesty didn't say nothing.
No, never. Thank you, Alstallio. I remember me.
Go on then, Trav.
Well, the day they're always stealing the limelight.
You know I love to.
I liked Christmas because I'm materialistic and I enjoy getting gifts.
Oh, God.
He's running.
I'm being real.
Oh,
I always get good gifts. And the new year, hopefully, to create new dreams and ambitions. To be fair, and hopefully achieve them before 2022.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So one of them ones. So you look at it as if 2022 is far away, but it's only a year away, really.
Yeah.
Look how fast.
And it will go as fast as this year.
Yeah, this year went fast, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah, this did. Because we was in the house most of the time.
Sleeping and watching TV and smoking and drinking it away.
I was
and exercising.
One of them ones. Yeah. I've watched so much TV in my life.
Come on then, Alstallio. Get to your point. Your two things.
Yeah, like I said, I think I just really like spending time with the family. You know, when you start having a family, you got your own kids. I think that's a beautiful time. You know, to do your nothing.
Yeah, because
they're loud and excited. But I think it's the excitement on their face when they get something. Especially we did this ritual of the whole Santa Claus. You know, we all know he's not real. I should have said spoiler alert. Yeah, but we never tell the kids this. We tell the kids that it's real, so they can tell us in a couple of years that we lied to them. You know.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, of course. Everyone has to get that punishment. You know. So yeah, I really like that, and I don't know. I mean, spending time even with my I like that people are so friendly, and that's what's really I've missed this year is the cheer. You know, the Christmas cheer. That's
the interaction.
Yeah, with just the people outside. I feel like it wasn't there. It wasn't there this year, and because of all this thing that's been going on. So people weren't as happy as they usually are.
Yeah,
you know, Christmas, you know,
there's loads of parties and there's lots of parties to do.
People want to hug you. Strangers like you all of a sudden. You know, it's that. You remember everyone would put that text. I've written it a couple of times on my Facebook, and I've said, why don't we always? Why are we not always friendly with each other? Why does it have to wait till Christmas? And the fact that no one's been really that friendly this year, I've kind of missed it because that was like the only time of the year where everybody's like friendly, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
cheery and merry.
Yeah, I like that. I like it's the season to be jolly, and unfortunately we didn't have it this year, but I'm hoping that next year it comes back. I'm pretty sure it will in a different.
Oh, stop living in dreamland.
You know what? Do you know when you hear that saying, "Is the season to be jolly"? Is it maybe because for most of that month you were drunk, so you're always jolly through the whole of that month?
Could well be.
So it's the season to be jolly. So it's actually giving you license to just drink as much as you need to.
Yeah.
To keep you happy through the month, because obviously it is very stressful this month. December alone, just as soon as the calendar hits that 1st of December, I feel the anxiety start building up because you're thinking,
Anxiety
oh
for
my God,
what?
you got 25 days, and it's like the
Like
world's
days?
gonna. Well, it's not like the world's gonna end, but you feel like Jesus Christ, I've got so much to do before the 25th. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I
You see,
never felt
it's
like
like
that.
it becomes that. I do. It's like it becomes that countdown because that's all you hear. Oh, 10 days to Christmas, 5 days. Because when you're thinking, oh, for God's sake, I've got to do this before Christmas, before I can't do it, as if you can't do it after the 25th, even
Yeah,
though
Yeah,
you
it's
know you
yeah.
true.
can. It's just
Yeah.
that anxiousness
Oh,
that's
yeah.
created by Christmas in December. So, everything's got to do it before 25th, got to do it before the 25th. And you're thinking, oh, for God's sake, I just can't take this.
All right, here's
I
a
just want
tip
it
for
to,
you. In
you know what I mean?
November, make sure you have everything finished for Christmas next year. You won't have the anxiety in December.
Yeah,
True,
it's true,
true.
isn't it? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
No, but you know
yeah.
what? Even the easiest part, which is probably the shopping, that still creates anxiety because you're thinking,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, with the pandemic as well. Oh, do I have to queue up outside? So you got to pick at the right time to get to the shops. Are you going to get what you want? Because obviously, in certain parts of the UK, people were panic buying. What was you supposed to do? I'm not clicking and collecting because they're not substituting what I want for rubbish. So again, that created a bit of anxiety. Even if
Oh
you
my
have
gosh,
got your
you should have
presents,
put it in your pride like me.
But Jeff Bezos has got you covered at Amazon, man. They'll sort it out for you.
what do you
I
mean?
delayed some of
Amazon.
my parcels. What are they on about?
That's
I
a
haven't
free. That's a
received some
free
of my stuff
advert.
because of the French.
Free
The French
advert.
Yeah,
borders.
same.
We're in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Amazon.
Mm.
But if they want to sponsor the show, hit me up, Black Apocalypse.
Well, well, to be fair,
I'll take
people,
Amazon's money.
has anybody been affected by the French borders being closed?
Well, not yet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
affected me. Yeah, my parcels ain't come.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of my
oh,
presents
don't
didn't
worry
come.
about it.
I am. I want my stuff.
No, just ask for your refund.
Order them
Just
from
ask for
England.
your
Buy
refund, and you'll
British.
still get your stuff back.
But the thing
Foot
is, they say, no, listen, Mideyah, you gotta look at it. They will say, oh, they can't give you a refund until they've received whatever it is that's shipped out to you. So there's the hassle.
I'm
No,
sorry
I'll
to
just go.
disagree with your pudding because I've had 2 occasions now where I've said I am no longer willing to wait any longer. I've waited 2 weeks longer than I am demanding a refund, and I've got my refund.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
Amazon
You
quite
can.
cool with that stuff. They
Yeah.
hook you up, man.
Yeah,
Amazon.
yeah.
We can't hang on
I was talking about
Amazon's one of
Amazon.
the best.
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
to
who
be
you talking
fair,
about? The Post.
well,
I was
pudding.
talking about
if-
like the French. Came from the French, innit?
Oh
From
no,
France.
I'm not buying it
Oh.
from the French. I bought
Who's
it from
buying
Foot
things
Locker.
from the French?
He's talking about buy British.
I am. I love the kid
Why did you
from
guys vote
Paris.
for? Wait, why did you guys vote for Brexit when you don't buy British? Buy British.
Because what I want and how I want to dress isn't British.
Hey, hold on, wait.
Because
You
the
have to
British
move away.
brands are
Brexit.
expensive.
You
The
have to move
British
away
brands
now.
are very expensive.
Who in this family podcast vote for Brexit?
I
Not
didn't.
me.
Someone
didn't.
did.
I never asked to
Someone did.
leave.
Well,
Nah.
it wasn't us. You better
What
ask
mate?
all them.
Listen,
who
leaving
supported Boris
Brexit
and
will
the
probably hurt my
idiot.
cooking, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
sad about.
Yeah.
Why would it hurt your cooking? Oh yeah, it could
Well,
do.
because you get all your
Imports.
seasonings and your fruits and your vegetables.
Nah, but we've been getting that for years. To be fair,
You
so
know what
don't
I think?
that's
You
gonna
know what
happen.
I think? Sorry for cutting you. You know when Brexit was coming up, it should have gave people who were not naturally born here the opportunity to leave this country and give them a bulk of money and say, look, if you want to leave because you don't want to deal with this Brexit, here's the money and go. Give us all 100 grand each and leave and see if we can build.
Oh, look at you! Can you imagine even the English would want
I'll
to
be
leave
the first one out.
with
I
100
would
grand?
Listen,
I'll be the first one out
you'd be
too.
surprised.
You get me?
You'd be surprised what you can get with 100 grand in another country. You'd be very surprised.
In Thailand, you got about
No.
20 years of life.
Not
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
No, but wait there. No, but imagine you offer anybody 100 grand. Can you imagine all the English tramps?
No. I didn't say the
And
English. I
the
said
down and
those who were.
outs.
No. I'm
They'll
talking about
pretend
the
they're
ones.
Irish and Scottish to
No.
leave. That's not an
I'm
English
not talking.
person.
No, they're part of the UK. I'm talking about people who would. I'm talking in reality, people who were born of like Caribbean, African, Asian descent. I'm not talking about people who are born in the English Channel and Europe. Forget them. They can stop here and enjoy it. I'm talking about people like us who didn't want to be put in this situation. He should have gave us the opportunity to leave.
But wait there.
You know what they're
If you
gonna
wanted
say?
to leave,
Accord
I don't think that would work.
No, you don't know because you were just talking about it hypothetically. I'm talking about if the plans were put in place properly. I'm not talking about just giving the 100 grand and go. They support you for the first 6 months of leaving.
You're funny. They would never ever in a million years do that because it would hurt the economy. It would really hurt.
Pudding, my dear. They did that back in was it the 70s or 80s? Because I think my father was taking advantage of that, where they were offering people to go back. It was the Enoch Powell time. He offered people money to go back, and a lot of people took advantage of that and left with the money and built up their little empire back in Jamaica and wherever. So it did happen. So you can't say never because you don't know.
That's when the pound was strong.
The pound's still strong. The pound strong.
Not strong. It's the same as a dollar, and everything's traded in dollars. So it's not strong no more. When
but you got to look at it as well.
$2 to $3 back in the day. Not anymore. It's the same as a dollar, so you lose out. So you got to look at the interest rates. So you could take that 100 grand from here, and it turns to 50 grand somewhere else.
You saying that though, Mideyah? A lot of people would, because obviously we're in a mixed race community now. A lot of people would jump on that bandwagon and push it, man.
That's what I'm saying.
They would push it they'll push that black side a little bit more, that Asian side a little bit more.
No.
I want to get out.
No, you're still missing what I'm saying. I'm talking.
And then come on back next week, the fraudsters.
It wouldn't be the mixed race. It would be the people who genuinely descended from people who came from. So, for instance, if your parents were born, your grandparents, for instance, were born in Jamaica, the first generation English should get that opportunity.
Oh, so what about people like me?
Me.
So you were gone?
I'd be gone.
You forget about your picnic?
Travesty.
Yeah.
Alstallio, you're clocking what she's saying. Are you clocking? Basically means she gets to go. We all have to stay here.
Hey, Pudding, it don't matter because most of Mideyah's generation are dead anyway, so there will be nobody to take up the grants. Then we would have to take up the grants to fulfill the quota.
Oh my God!
But at least I was going to say, nice to come to.
Well, I was going to say they could open it up to the first generation and the firstborn.
Yeah,
what the?
That's what it would be. Yeah,
all the time.
So you can take one sibling back.
That means your firstborn could come too.
Yeah, and Kai Rooney. Not Sav.
You know what? I'm going to just end it on this and say, a typical English person would say, if you're not happy here, go back to your own country.
That's exactly what they should have
That's what they will say.
That's what he should have said.
That's how we're going to, no, without the money, of course, without the money. If you're not
without
happy
the money,
And guess what I'd say?
Someone told me the other day to get out the shop.
Really?
Did they?
Well,
what kind of place do you play?
No, the thing is, it wasn't even that. It was basically, look, I tried to go into the shop and, there's this idea that if you want to go in the shop, you have to take a shopping trolley. And I was like, okay, good. And everyone's standing there disinfecting their trolley. And the queue going all the way back to Kingdom Come. And I'm like, and I walk past them. I'm like, look, can you let me in? Because first of all, I'm working. And second, everyone in this queue is waiting to disinfect their trolley. But I'm not interested in that. I'm going straight in. I'm going to be out in 2 minutes. Everyone was like, no, you have to get back in line. They're not waiting to disinfect their trolley. They're waiting because they have to wait their turn. But I was like, hold on a minute. Trust me. So I've pushed back into where I was. So I was mad. And I've watched everyone disinfect their trolley and hold up the whole queue. And I was like, I went back to the woman. I said, look, I told you everyone's waiting to disinfect the trolley. If you just let the people who don't care about that stuff come in, you wouldn't have a big basket of sensors there, because they're going to give everyone a sensor to show that they've got so many people in the shop. This woman's trying to tell me that it's because everyone's waiting, just for the sake of it. I was like, oh, man.
You know what I found out? This is why I did ask this question in a couple of podcasts ago. Should really businesses put the normal employee in charge of situations like that? Because they must suffer some abuse. They shouldn't.
A lot of them have security.
They shouldn't be put in control of telling people to wear masks or disinfectant. I think you're putting too much stress on an employee doing that.
Yeah.
Because and
I
then
wouldn't have
there's the
thought that was
one.
part of your
No, it wasn't.
Job
Because
description.
job description anyway.
No, COVID wasn't always there. So all of a sudden, you're a cashier. You've been sent to the door to tell people to wear masks and disinfect. That is too much pressure for people because at the end of the day, you are going to suffer abuse. And who's going to look out for you when you get abuse? And then you've got the other on hand where you've got the ones who are on a power trip and think that they're sergeant majors and trying to dictate to you what you should do, which you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Well, I've saw a couple of recordings on FB about that same thing, and they're being asked to leave because they can't produce the card which gives you exemption from wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same breath, the government on their website said it's not law, but then the police are saying it is law. I think somebody needs to get some further training for the police. And then they said, also on the government website, it says you can't ask somebody to produce evidence of their exemption certificate.
Exactly.
But then why are you in the shop asking me for the same thing?
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's based that thing where the
it's too
government's
much conflicting information.
Yeah, it's the thing where the government's saying, okay, it's not compulsory or mandatory that you get the big V, but they'll make sure they tell all the businesses, make sure anyone coming into the shop has the big V. You know what I mean? So
or at work, the work employees.
Or at work, yeah. So
I bet they'll go through your employer.
Yeah, they'll go through the back
door.
door.
Hurts with your money.
Yeah, they watch your hands.
Listen, this is where idiots will always fall in it, because if you know your rights and if you've researched it, when they try that with you, you just roll off a copy of what the government has stated and show them and say, tell me that you're going against what the government's just put here legally.
Well, to be fair,
about this case,
the fall flat to the face straight away.
You know, the thing is,
you've got to know your rights. You know what I mean?
No, but has anybody saw the protest, what's been going on lately, which you haven't been hearing on the news, about the anti-vaccine and the anti-mask wearing?
Yeah.
And you see, it's been in Manchester, Bristol, London, Birmingham, and I didn't even hear of this because it's not being advertised.
It's not being advertised because at the end of the day, it is not saying that the vaccine is compulsory anyway. So why people are buying into this straight? They need to stop it. Wait and look at the government site, reel it off, as I said, print it off, and then you've got the facts. Stop going off what Mr. Joe Bloggs is saying because he's the boss of a company. Reel off what government.co says or whatever it is, and then you've got the facts. Is it
World Health? It's the World Health Organization.
No, we're not talking about the world because the world isn't covering Brexit. I mean, England.
Yes, it is. The WHO do. Listen, the government consults WHO to give us the guidelines of how to police us.
Hang on. If that's the case, why did we do Brexit? Who are we going to be consulting if we've left?
That's a different thing. That's a different thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. We don't want to be going too deep in that because we haven't got the enough knowledge to be talking on the vaccine. Let's go straight to the topic that I know is irritating me and I want to talk on. Did you get any particular clip on it, Alstallio, that we can listen to? Yes, please. Play some of it, please, and then we can talk.
Like, I've been listening to you for a while, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of what you say is true, and I'm not just saying that.
Oh, by the way, this is courtesy of King Richie's, man. Subscribe to his channel, man. He's quite good, man.
What is this?
You're here. Listen.
As a black woman, I started off, young black girl. I was sort of indoctrinated into this whole wearing weave stuff. It was like second nature. It's just what you did. And it took me a long time before I realized, like, this whole weave thing, it's like a mental illness. Do you see where I'm coming from? Like, when you really deep it to understand that you're literally wearing somebody else's DNA on your scalp, day in, day out. I don't care if you're putting the wig down and then putting it back on, whatever it is, it's disgusting, first and foremost.
Stop it there, Alstallio. Stop it there, Alstallio. Now, that was the most important thing. She used two words. What was it? Disgusting. Disgusting is the word she shouldn't have used because it's not actually disgusting. And saying that we have a mental illness is a no-no. She should not have used those two words, disgusting and mental illness. Now, let's go back to the weave thing. The reason why a lot of women ended up wearing weave.
Why? Tell me.
Because I am going to tell you, I'm not for it. I'm telling you the reason why I'm not speaking for everybody. and I'm definitely not speaking for those who have illnesses, because there's all races that have illnesses that need to wear wigs anyway and weaves. Now, why it became so popular is because with black women, we were brainwashed to think that our hair wasn't nice to start with, first by our brothers in the home, and then by media. Secondly, what made it better was the black woman then decided they need to be equal to their white counterpart. They may not say outright, but that is exactly where they wanted to go. So they bought into the cosmetics of what belongs to the Europeans, and that is why we've become popular. Because I had an argument with Travesty earlier about this same thing. She says,
Travesty.
"Oh, well, no, sorry, taking out the trash,
Trashly.
please. Do
Take out
apologise." Because she was saying, "Oh, do you know how easy it is for us to just put on our wigs and weaves, because we can't cope with our hair, because we have to do work and this." I says, "Listen here, stop there right now. Work has always been the same. When I was young, I used to go to work. Now you tell me why. When I was young, we were quite happy to do our little afro, maybe put on a little lipstick and go to work and felt no way. Why is it suddenly it's a problem?" It's an excuse because majority of black women do want to be like their white counterparts, so they've bought into the same cosmetics. And you've only got to look on Insta to see it all playing out. And I'm not talking about the small majority who wear it because they just want to wear it. I'm on about a lot of them have bought in to the cosmetic world. They've all become so vain and wanting to be like the white counterparts. Sorry, I've finished. Before anybody jumps in, we can't talk about other races who are doing things to look black because we're not talking about them tonight. So don't bring them up. All right? Okay. Who wants the floor first?
I want to quickly tell you, I want to push back where you said it was the brothers who told them.
It did start off in the home.
I don't know if you started off with the brothers because, like, if you only have to go across to Brazil and watch how they've embraced their hair.
Alstallio, forget about Alstallio. Please stop. Don't talk about Brazil. And the reason why I say don't talk about Brazil, because Brazilian women don't look like African women or Jamaican women.
Yes, they do, man. You've not been to Salvador. You've not been to Salvador.
Listen,
on to YouTube.
I don't want to raise my voice. I have to keep my voice down. I'm talking about their hair quality.
Go to Google.
Isn't necessarily like ours.
And Brazil was populated by the Africans.
Salvador and go and have a look at Salvador. What people look like.
Yeah.
Trust me. These are
Africans.
The purest Africans. In fact, Brazil was the first place, and it was the last place to abolish
slavery. Alstallio, I understand where you're coming from, but Brazilian's just one country. You've got to know.
What I'm saying is,
Alstallio, compare it to places like Jamaica, Africa, any Caribbean island. Please compare it to them because they're the ones doing the weave and the wigs and the.
I just want to quickly say that I don't know if it comes from I think it was. Well, you said it was that brothers, your brothers, or
it started in the home life.
I'm going to include your brothers and your mothers too in this. I'm not going to say
no, not the mothers. Let me excuse a lot of some of the mothers. But listen, when I say the brothers in the home life, when they were growing up in the home life, a lot of the brothers would say, "Oh, go away! Look at your picky head. Look at your picky head." They started it off in the home, and then it went into schools. There, where people say, "Oh, look at your hair! It's like cotton wool." It's like. That's where it all began. Or continually put down for having our natural hair.
I think it was more down to your European people and being based in Europe more than anything. I think it wouldn't be your brothers. While I wanted the point I wanted to prove that when you was in Brazil, and Brazil at some point they invited all the European-looking people to Brazil. That's why they have about a balance now of people who look European to African because. Make no mistake, Brazil was majority
African.
African.
And
then what happened
is Cuba and everywhere.
One of the presidents in the past said, "Okay, look, the people are too ugly and too dark here. Bring some of the Europeans to mix with the people to make their color more light." And that's true story. You can look that up.
Yeah. Fact.
Well, what's happened is the black people always embraced, and that's another thing. Europe, there's always been a European standard of beauty, but there's never been a benchmark of black beauty. It's never been around. Never had it.
Exactly. So think about it, what you just said, Alstallio, very important point. If that is all there to base off, that is why the majority, and I'm not saying all, I said the majority of black women wanted to embrace the white counterpart, which is European. That is what they wanted to encounter. They wanted to be like that because they thought for some unknown reason they'd be more accepted in society, even though that's not true because they're still not accepted anyway. So carry on, Alstallio.
That's because they don't wear the wig good. That's why.
I want to know why. The only question I have, because I'm on this podcast now with 3 black people.
Say
black
it again.
Women specifically. I want to know why the black women weren't strong enough to break out of that mold where they did in Brazil.
I was.
After being told by their own government that, hey, we need the place is too ugly, the people are too dark, light them up with some Europeans. Why in Europe that hasn't happened? Why can't black people embrace their blackness and their afro and stop burning off their hair?
I think they have now. In the last...
Now, I think there's a movement now, but it's still...
in the last 10 years, there's been a big movement. I haven't permed my hair for nearly 20 plus years now. And I just got fed up with chasing down these shops for foolishness, giving my money to these idiots. And I thought, I've got good enough hair. I'm not going to put chemicals on it because I've seen what the chemicals are doing to my sister's hairs. Not my biological sisters, obviously. My black sisters out there. It's terrible. And then because of the hairs now out, they turn into the wig and the weave. And there's not much more underneath that either. I'm sorry to laugh.
What's wrong with you? Honestly.
Well, you see now, I think what I like is like even me, I've grown my hair out. And I've grown my hair out on purpose because I'm like, no, these fools here in Europe are going to learn to look at me and realize that I'm actually...
You're going to learn?
You're going to learn today. And I see it, at the start it was hard. Don't get me wrong, you have to have nerve to steel with all these comments. With all these comments, and they've always got something to say. I don't want to put your hand in there.
Always want to touch your hair.
Ask me about the texture and if it's difficult to comb and it must be hard. And I wouldn't want to have that problem. And I'm like, it's not a problem.
But Alstallio, but you see that, Alstallio? No, but wait there. Look at it as a positive. Your hair actually starts conversations with people who would never even try to speak to you sometimes. Yeah. Just because they can't believe it. And they like, oh my God. Because you know what?
So delicious.
You know what? You get so much attention and I don't take it as negative attention either. Because people... It's like, oh my God. Imagine, right, you see a white tiger come in and you think, oh my God, and you actually can have a touch of it and you're thinking, shit. Oh, mind me French, sorry. You're like, oh my God, I get the opportunity to touch it. That's how they treat me when I used to go to work with my afro out. Because I actually embraced myself so much and I was that comfortable within my own skin. I started just leaving my hair out after I loosed it out the camo. And go to work and they go, oh my God, I absolutely love your hair. It's fantastic. Do you mind if I touch it? Oh my God, it feels like cotton wool. Oh my God, it just doesn't feel like I would No, you know what? They always say it doesn't feel. They don't expect it to feel how they expect it to feel.
I think they expect it to feel like some push or some sponge.
Some big
I got told Barbara.
Cotton wool is the words they used to use back in the day. Cotton wool.
Well, cotton wool's soft. Cotton wool is soft.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? What do you wash your baby's bums with? Cotton wool is the softest thing you can find. So you've got to look at it all as positives at the end of the day. Yeah. Stop to looking at it as the negative. And if somebody says, look here, I've got my hair on my head.
Exactly.
Done in many
look at your
styles.
hair. A lot of people they say stuff to me, and it's always the guys who got no hair. Yeah, it's always the guys who got no hair, the bald guys. And I'm like, I'm
going to shave some of my hair. Some of your hair.
And give you some.
That's what they always say. Yeah, they always say that. We shave some of your hair. You know what I mean? They do anything just to have hair again. And we're out there, the black nation, scared to show our hair. Not no more. Yeah. We've really embraced our hair in the last 10 years. You know what, as well? I've got to say, I wouldn't really say it's the European anymore. It's more the Americans. They lead our nation, unfortunately, because England likes to follow America a lot. And with the people and the personalities that are shoved in our youngsters' faces, and they've rarely got afros and stuff like that, promoting our urbanism. They've always got the weave and it going down to their back like any black people's hair ever goes that long. It doesn't happen. So stop trying to fill the young people's minds with dreams. Yeah. Yes, if you're mixed race, if you have mixed parentage, you've got a chance of, maybe growing that long. But unless you've got pure Indian in you or pure some fantastic hair follicles, your hair's never going to go past your bum. as a black person.
And why
So
is it
that
important that it is long anyway? That's what I don't get.
I
Why is
know
it important that you
what
have
I think
to have
it's.
long hair?
You know what? That is the beauty of being black. We have
Yeah.
the choice of being so versatile and having the choice of having long, short, camo, all these fantastic styles, which no other nation can really
Yeah, yeah.
replicate. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter what they try, they can't do it. Yes, if you've got European hair, it's in two styles, either up in a bubble or down, flat on your head.
On your back.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Because any other style doesn't really last without
Yeah.
any added tools to keep it there, or waxes, or
Hold,
yeah,
spray
that
holding,
lacquer or stuff.
hold spray.
Which is why you're gonna do that. It's gonna makes your hair look disgusting.
Mhm.
So we are very lucky at what we have, and I just hope that more black people just embrace it more. And I'm so
Exactly.
glad that finally, in the last, say, probably 5 years, Africa's roots are coming through so strong with their music and their culture.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually pushing the BAME community to embrace their community and their roots more as well.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
helping the
I
youngsters.
agree.
Because in the old days when I was growing up, you would never be proud to be dancing to some African music. You didn't want to be associated with the Africans. But we have to remember that's where the motherland is. And it doesn't matter if we dislike it in any way, that we all are from Africa and we just got dropped off at different ports.
That's in your opinion. I don't disagree with that.
Okay, then you need to do.
You don't go
Yes,
there.
you know, actually, you know what?
Mideyah, you need to do some
Sorry,
more
I'm
reading
not
and education.
We're gonna
And
do
stop
DNA
watching your
test. Don't
Turkish
believe it.
shows. And stop
I'm
watching
sorry.
your European shows.
You know what? I've
But
just got
anyway.
one thing to say to you is guleg.
See, there you go.
What we're gonna do?
European shows.
You know what we're gonna do for I know Mideyah's birthday is coming up. We're gonna get her a DNA test. That's what we're gonna do.
Show us from
I think it's about 100,
Ghana.
it's 50 to 100 quid, isn't it? And then you're gonna find
No, it's
out
50 quid. It's 50 quid.
50 quid.
But you know what? I
And we're
don't
gonna find out
know
where you're
if it'll
from.
work. Because how many black
Why not?
people would you really
All
expect to do that?
you find out is that I'm from Scotland.
Yeah,
I think
more
actually,
time.
I think you'll find you probably got Scottish in you. You'll
More
find out a lot
time.
of black people are doing it because we're the ones who don't have these DNA tests are catered more to us. Like if I look at my wife, she can go back and she can trace her history back to 200-300 years. I can't even trace my history back past my mother.
Of course you
I don't
can.
even know who my grandparents are.
Of course you can.
I can't tell
You could go to Jamaica. You could go
all
to
I know
Jamaica and
is-
there'll be
all I
records
know-
there back into
all
the
I
slavery
know is-
times.
To start me off with, you know that I've got Indian and I've got black in
Oh
me.
my
So you
God.
can figure the rest out. I don't care.
Listen, there's ledgers of people all over the place. At the end of the day, when your mother's parents came over here, they were somebody's kids. So they had birth certificates because they had passports to come here. So you just got to link
Unfortunately,
through them. Everybody's
them.
this is a family tree.
Travesty, let me
They
stop
never
you
just
there.
dropped out of a coconut tree.
Travesty, let me tell you where our problem is going to come in there. Let me tell you
Where
where the
go on?
come in there.
I thought you said your nan was a slave.
No,
Then that
listen.
proves something.
Listen, no, I was going to say that originally, when they were doing birth certificates, because they couldn't afford to get to the registry office, they'd give one person who could afford to get there all the kids that were born in that village. He'd have a list, he or she would have a list of who was born and whatnot. And when they got to the registry office, a lot of them were mixed up. So
Well,
a lot of
you
them
know
did
what?
not get their proper date of births because one might have been born 3 days early. Say one would be born Tuesday, 3 would probably be born Thursday and Saturday. He just have the list of the names and whatnot, and then got to the registry office. They were mixed up, so they didn't.
So wait there.
The date of birth.
So why wasn't he like? Wait there. I've seen these things because I've watched these hair hunters and all that rubbish on TV.
But
and
you
they actually,
right
there, they actually do. And
Yeah.
it's the church parish that keeps the births and deaths of everybody in that village. It's not nobody catching one bus with all the names of all the kids. The actual pastor should keep everybody's name.
Stop there. So it's the pastor's fault that they're not registered properly then?
No, that's what I mean.
tired.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
sleeping with the missus at the time. But your
All
name's
the
not down
choir
in a...
boys.
But there should be a book ledger where everybody's got their little name in somewhere.
Travesty,
What
they
the
weren't
pastor...
organised. 100 years ago, they weren't in Jamaica. They weren't as organised as maybe in England. So the ledgers wouldn't be as good as were in England.
But if the
Unfortunately,
lodgers in England, let's just go back to 1200 BC.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, listen, remember what you lot said, we was all dispersed from Africa. So we can't
But wait there.
Number two, let me
England.
just finish this statement. I'm not talking about England. I'm talking about, for instance, in Jamaica. The statement I just made about them getting them mixed up was said by my parents themselves. So I don't know why you'd think that they don't know what they're talking about. This is something that did happen. Go back and try and find somebody who's about 80 years old and ask them how it went.
Then wait there. How does everybody?
Not everybody. I said some of them got mixed up birth certificates because the person who took it to get them registered didn't put them in the right order.
But even though you say that, it's still recorded somewhere that person's name exists. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if they was born. But wait there, that was my point. I don't care when they were born, if it was 2 days or 1 day too late or too early. Their name would be there in that village, and you can trace it via that. Just to say, that person was born around then in the 10 years.
Records.
That's what I mean. So that's how you trace back your family history. Doesn't matter when they were born, as long as you've got a name or there's a name that links. They look for the parents and the name, and that's all. How simple it is. Just because you know the area.
The issue with black people though is our names started coming back from slave owners, so we split
that again. And then you see there, the slave owners would have kept records of all their slaves and who had what little slave.
Yeah, but not with the family though.
No, but that's what I mean. The slave master would have kept the ledger, and that's what gets passed on.
Yeah, that's the slave times.
As sort of your birth certificate.
When people are free, that's where the problem come on. Because another thing you got to look at as well is even if they were registered a certain name, they would 9 times out of 10 they were given a nickname which they would use. Let me give you an instance. I've got a brother named Winston, but to everyone else, and I'm sure on his passport, he came across as Quenje. So exactly. This is so I'm giving you an example. That this is how things are going to get messed up. It's not that easy to track when it comes to those kind of areas. Yeah, England, America, maybe, but those places like Africa and Caribbean islands, it is going to be a bit more difficult. Maybe not impossible, but a bit more difficult. That's all I'm saying.
I want to know what Quenje.
Well, I'm going to say that with the time status of slavery, and probably when Jamaica became Jamaica, you'd probably realise that you wouldn't have to go back that far because it didn't really exist in the country. So so you could probably trace your history back at least 100 years because if you lived till 98, you must have told somebody something, and you know what I mean. From there, you would have linked from there. From the family, and somebody would have had to tell you the next piece, and it's all putting the jigsaw together, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Alstallio, I think a good person to talk to get some of your family tree back to my grandmother would go through Blossom. Or Junie.
I forgot what you asked them, man, but
if she can't tell you, then you're lost because she would have a lot more history than I would.
Anyway, guys.
Quenje.
I want to know Quenje. That should have been my name. I know name Quenje. That's an African man. Quenje.
I know Quenje.
Well, that's what I mean. They had African names, and then they changed it to sort of English names when you came over.
It's true.
Yeah. Going back to research.
So there's the problem. We don't know whether which one was used.
Yeah.
Right. Pudding, you got something to say? Any last year wishes?
Oh, last year we shall just hope we make it to the other side soon, safely. You know, I just hope everyone just remains with peace, high spirits, health most definitely. I just want all my family and friends to have good health and go into the new year with good health. Yeah, that's all I like to say.
Mideyah?
Following on from what Pudding said, I hope we reach the next year, health, happiness, not necessarily wealth because that's left to be desired. I just want to end on this final note. I would like 7 pairs of socks for my birthday.
Okay.
And I would like to say again in Turkish, güle 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 güle. That's bye bye.
Oh, you learn some African.
I don't want to learn
Swahili.
I
Yeah.
don't want to learn African. I don't like the sound of it. Sorry.
Oh, well, you know what? That can speak French, so say hello, au revoir.
Au revoir.
What's that?
It's au revoir. Au revoir.
Yeah. That's French, isn't it?
No, not the way you said it. The way I said it.
Travesty, jeez.
Jesus.
enough.
That's why you're so good at French.
Your Google
Because you're
Translate is
African
failing
roots.
you.
I was good with languages, so that's why it's easy to pick up. Anyway,
Travesty,
That's
got
your African
anything?
background.
Happy New Year.
Travesty, got anything?
Yeah, Happy New Year to all my family and friends and those listening
Love
out there.
you.
And my
Yeah.
number one fan. I just want to say, try and stay away from any organised raves because the police are out in their forces giving people fines. But enjoy going to 2021, people, and hopefully next year will be better than this year.
Hopefully. Inshallah. Inshallah.
And I will say, I don't know what Mideyah is saying about wealth. I desire wealth, and next year I want wealth.
You want health
God to
first.
Brazil.
Health
and then wealth.
first.
Health and then wealth. Okay, guys. Good night. This is the last show.
Is
Good
it
night. Have a
Good
happy
night.
New Year. See you
Happy
next
New
year.
Year.
Night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
We will be fine.